Hello, everyone. Welcome to our lesson. Today, you are going to learn 28 English expressions in one short story. And this is a great way to learn because you're going to see these expressions in context. You're going to see how they're used in natural speech, and you'll see the sentence structure and the grammar. And because I'm reading this to you, you'll learn correct pronunciation. So here's what you need to do during this lesson. Of course, you need to repeat after me to practice your pronunciation, to shadow my pronunciation, and you need to practice these expressions. So write an example sentence in the comments, and I will review as many as I can to give you feedback as well. So let's get started with our short story. I will start reading it now. And remember, pay attention, read along with me. And after, you can watch this again and shadow my pronunciation. So let's get started. Emily and Jake sat in their favorite cafe, sipping lattes and enjoying their usual Friday afternoon catch up. Today, though, the air was filled with a mix of excitement and uncertainty. So, what words are unfamiliar to you in this short paragraph? Please leave which word you would like me to review so I understand which ones are unfamiliar, and I'll do my best to review as many as I can. Now, I have already chosen some words for you, so let's review the first one. So, here we have catch up. So, let's read this again. Emily and Jake sat in their favorite cafe sipping. So notice how this sipping is in the verb in ing because it shows that the action is taking place. So sipping lattes. Instead of saying they were sipping lattes, a latte is a drink that has espresso and milk. A latte. Notice that pronunciation, latte. And then in the plural, because there's more than one, lattes. So sipping lattes and enjoying their usual Friday afternoon catch up. So notice here in this sentence structure, catch up is a noun. A noun. And it's important to pay attention to the sentence structure and how these are used because perhaps you're more familiar with to catch up as a verb. So here, a catch up is the noun form. So it represents a meeting or conversation where people share updates about their lives since they last spoke. So right now, we can say they're having a catch up because catch up is a noun. It was great catching up. What do you notice here? It's the verb form. And you can see that too because we have the verb conjugated to catch up and then in the ing. It was great catching up. That's the verb. Or you can say it was a great catch up. It was a great catch up. So now let's look at this. They had their catch up. Today, though, the air was filled with. So to be filled with, it means to contain a large amount of. And what was it filled with? And in this case, we can think of it as the cafe. So excitement and uncertainty. Excitement is, of course, feelings of anticipation, but uncertainty is when you're not sure about the future. So that feeling is uncertainty. So now we have a mix of X and Y. So a mix, this could be a combination, a mixture, a blend. So you might say learning English is filled with a mix of excitement and frustration. Does it feel like that for you sometimes? So we have excitement, which is a positive emotion, but then frustration. So a mix, a blend, a combination. Or you could say my study routine contains a mix of input and output activities. And that's exactly why I want you to practice shadowing my pronunciation and practicing in the comments as well. So here, Fazriez said, it's a great catch up. Exactly. So this is the noun form. It's a great catch up. Now, if you wanted to turn this into the verb, remember you can say, it was great catching up. It was great catching up. Okay, excellent job. Now, remember, make sure you practice in the comments as well. So, Amna said, we usually catch up every weekend. Exactly. So, what is this? Is this the noun form? Is this a something, or is this a verb form, to catch up? What do you think? We usually catch up every weekend. You can tell by the sentence structure that this is the verb form. We usually have a catch up. If you wanted to use the noun form, we usually have a catch up every weekend. We usually catch up every weekend. Nice example. Let's continue on. And of course, if you're liking this lesson, if you're enjoying it, well, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and put yes, 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 yes in the comments. So I know you want more lessons just like this, especially these live lessons where we can practice together. So make sure you let me know if you like this lesson. Okay. And Esther said, we will catch up after office hours. Exactly. So, this is another example of the verb form. You can see that this is conjugated as well. So, another example of the verb form. We will catch up after office hours. Very nicely done. Okay, and MSA likes this lesson. Asha likes this lesson. Ebru, Horatio, woohoo! I'm so glad. Rakib likes this lesson as well. All right. Well, I'm so glad you like it. So let's keep going. Now, let's continue with our story. Remember, we have our two characters, Emily and Jake, and they're catching up or having a catch up at their favorite cafe. You won't believe what happened yesterday, Emily began. Jake looked intrigued. What's up? Emily took a deep breath. I got a job offer completely out of the blue. That's amazing. So, what's the catch? Jake asked. So, what about here? What words or expressions are unfamiliar to you? Put them in the comments and I'll explain the ones that I chose for you. And I'm happy to answer any other questions that you have as well. And if you're watching the replay, I still want you to leave your comments in the comments section. Let me know what words are unfamiliar and practice as well, because I read all the comments. Okay, so let's get started. How about this? Jake looked intrigued. Intrigued. You won't believe what happened yesterday, Emily began. Jake looked intrigued. So here, notice our verb is look. There are many different verbs you can use for this one. You can say be intrigued. So Jake was intrigued. Jake looked intrigued, or Jake seemed intrigued, because this is a verb, so you have to conjugate it. That's why I said Jake was intrigued rather than just the verb to be, which is unconjugated. Now, intrigued is our adjective. Repeat after me. Intrigued. Egged. Intrigued. Notice that soft D at the end. Intrigued. Now, this means curious or fascinated by something. You might say, I'm intrigued by the endless idioms in the English language. So, the fact that there are hundreds and hundreds of idioms, it fascinates you. It makes you curious about the English language. Do you agree with that? Or maybe does it frustrate you? Does it intrigue you or frustrate you, or maybe a mix? It's a mix of intrigue and frustration. Or you can say the endless idioms in the English language intrigue me. Notice in the second example, we have the active form. Something intrigues someone. So intrigue is the verb. But in the first example, Intrigued is the adjective. I'm intrigued, to be intrigued by. I'm intrigued by the endless idioms. All right. Fatima wants to know how to use out of the blue. Same with Nicholas and Rakib. Well, I am glad because I chose that one. So don't worry, I will explain that for you. Okay. So, first, before we get to out of the blue, let's look at what's up. So, Jake looked intrigued. What's up? What's up? Repeat after me because it's important you get this pronunciation. Notice we have what's up. What's up? So, they combine together. What's up? What's up? So, you can hold out that S before you say up. What's up? What's up? Repeat after me. What's up? So, this is a casual way to ask what's happening, what's wrong, or if somebody wants to talk with you, you can use this to ask them, what do you want to talk about? So, if one of my students knocked on my door and says, do you have a minute to chat? I can say, sure, what's up? So, I want to know what the topic of our conversation is. You might also know this expression as a way to say hello to someone. Hi, what's up? It's another way of saying, how are you? But in this context, that's not what it means. In this context, it's what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What's up? What's up? Okay. So now let's talk about out of the blue because a lot of students want to know what this means. Out of the blue. This is an idiom. Remember, an idiom is a group of words that has a non literal meaning. So it has nothing to do with the color blue, for example. And this simply means unexpectedly or without warning. For example, he called me out of the blue. So something happens. He called me. That's the something that happens. He called me out of the blue. And notice that pronunciation. You can say out of the blue, or you can take out of and make it sound like outa, out of the blue, out of the blue, out of the blue. Repeat after me, outa the blue. So maybe something out of the blue happened to you this weekend. Did you see someone out of the blue? Did you hear something? Did someone give something to you out of the blue, for example? Now, let's move on. So, what's the catch? Do you know what this means? The catch? Well, if someone throws a ball at you, you catch it. But that's not what we're talking about here because this has a different meaning. So the catch in this case, this is a noun and it's a hidden problem or disadvantage. This one, you need to understand the context. So Emily and Jake will continue their conversation and then you'll learn the context of how to use the catch. Okay. So Manfi said, I am intrigued by learning homophones in English. It's new to me. Exactly. So it makes you curious. Wow. How do these work? Excellent example. This English class is genuinely intriguing. Very nice. And Esther said, out of the blue, you popped into my Facebook and I started following you. Exactly. Maybe you are watching this lesson out of the blue. You weren't planning on it. You're just scrolling on YouTube and all of a sudden it said, J4's English is live. And you clicked it. That was unexpected. You weren't prepared for it. All right. Excellent job. So let's continue and learn about the catch. So we'll listen here. So what's the catch? So Emily explains it's for a startup that's just getting off the ground. Because remember, a catch is a hidden problem or disadvantage. So the problem with this job offer that Emily got out of the blue, unexpectedly, she didn't plan for it. It was out of the blue, but the catch is it's for a startup. Do you know what a startup is? And the startup is just getting off the ground. Do you know what that means to get off the ground? Don't worry, I'll explain both of those because that's the catch. Emily goes on to say, the role is great, but I'm not sure how stable it is, Emily explained, her voice tinged with doubt. Jake nodded. Taking a leap of faith is scary, especially when things aren't set in stone. But this could be a golden opportunity. So, what words are new to you? What words are unfamiliar to you? What words do you want me to explain? Put them in the comments. And remember, even if you're watching the replay, put it in the comments as well so I know what words to focus on for future lessons, or I can explain it to you in the comment section as well. Okay, let's look at this. So remember, the catch, that was a hidden problem or disadvantage. So the fact that it's for a startup. Now here, a startup is a young company, a company that just began, and it's in the initial stages of operation. Now, to get off the ground, this is an idiom. To get off the ground, it means to start or succeed. So here's a statistic that I got from Google. So I don't know how accurate this statistic is, but only 10% of startups, remember, a startup is a young company in its initial stages. So maybe the first 1 to 5 years of operation. Only 10% of startups ever get off the ground, which means only 10% of new companies succeed. And that means the opposite. If 10% succeed, it means 90% fail. 90% fail. So that's the hidden problem or disadvantage. The fact that Emily's job offer is for a company that has a 90% chance of failing in the first 1 to 5 years. So that's what Emily is concerned about. Okay. Now, notice here she said her voice tinged with doubt. So let's repeat that pronunciation. Tinged. So it's a soft D, tinged, tinged, tinged. To tinge with an emotion. This means that your voice or your emotion, it has a small or subtle amount. So notice this word subtle, the B is silent. Subtle, subtle, subtle. And a subtle means that it's not easy to perceive, to see, to hear, to understand. It's not easy to perceive. So you could say her voice tinged with fear. So when she said, I'll accept the job, it tinged with fear. You could hear the fear in her voice, but it was a small amount or subtle. Her voice tinged with fear when she asked her boss for a promotion. Or you could say there was a tinge of fear. So notice, to be a tinge of fear. So there was a tinge of fear in her voice when she asked her boss for a promotion. So maybe if you're in a presentation or a job interview or a meeting or even an English class, and you have to share your idea in English in front of everyone. Maybe you simply go to introduce yourself. Hi, everyone, I'm Jennifer. But your voice tinged with fear or tinged with uncertainty. There was a small amount noticeable when you said that. Okay. Let's continue on here. We have a lot of words to discuss here. And Fred asked to launch a business. Well, to launch, the verb launch means to start a business, but a startup is already launched. So a startup has started, has launched, but they're in the initial stages. All right. And Fred said, got it. Great. And Faiziev said, your YouTube channel is getting off the ground. Yes, exactly. To be honest, I would argue that when I first started many years ago, it was getting off the ground. Now I would say it's established, but at the beginning stages, I would say it was getting off the ground. All right. I was out of the blue. So it's not I was out of the blue, it's something happened to you out of the blue. So you could say, when I got wind of the, I'm not sure what that means, to be honest, but something happens out of the blue. So you could say, it happened. I got wind of it out of the blue, out of the blue. So I got wind of it out of the blue. You could say that. Okay. Amazing job, everyone. Now, let's review these on the screen. So, what's a leap of faith? It's on the screen here, so an easy one for you. But a leap of faith. Okay, so if you leap, it's another way of saying jump, but jump is vertical and a leap is horizontal. Okay. So when you leap, it's you want to go from here to here, and you can leap over a puddle of water, for example. So it's when you move from one to the other, but when there's risk involved. So you have to have belief or trust in something uncertain. So when you accept a new job offer, you're taking a leap of faith because you don't know if the job will be good or not, but you already accepted it. So you're taking a leap of faith. You might say he took a leap of faith by moving to a foreign country because you don't know if it will be a positive experience or a negative experience. So you just take the risk and you just have trust that everything will be okay. All of you have taken a leap of faith in your lives because it takes a leap of faith to speak in a foreign language, to learn in a foreign language, to get comfortable with different cultures and a different way of life as well. Now, to be set in stone, this is an excellent expression. This means that something is fixed or unchangeable. So you could say the agenda isn't set in stone. So notice how I made it negative. Is not. The agenda is not set in stone. This means that you can change the agenda. But you could say the agenda is set in stone because it's to be set in stone, which means you can't change the agenda. So you can describe your plans. My plans are set in stone. My trip is set in stone. I can't change it. So, this is an excellent expression that you can use in your regular day to day life. How about golden opportunity? But this could be a golden opportunity. A golden opportunity is a great chance to achieve something. So, if Emily takes a leap of faith, then there's a great chance that she could achieve something positive by accepting the job offer. Okay, so here, out of the blue, I found your glasses when I browsing my iPhone. Very nice. So out of the blue, I found my glasses, period. That's correct. When I was looking for my iPhone. Excellent job. So, wow, your glasses. I wasn't expecting to see them. Very nice. Attending your English class is a golden opportunity to boost my English skill. I am so glad you think that. And maybe you took a leap of faith by subscribing to my channel because you didn't know if it would help you or not. So you took a risk. The risk is you waste some time if it doesn't help you. Learning English with Jennifer is a golden opportunity. I appreciate that. I'm so glad you think so. Oh, I love this one. I got a promotion because promotion is a noun. I got a promotion today. It was out of the blue. It was out of the blue, unexpected, which is the best type of promotion when you aren't expecting it. Great sentence. Let's continue on. Oh, Emily looks concerned, doesn't she? True, Emily agreed, but I've got a good thing going at my current job. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. And what if it doesn't pan out? What if I regret it? So that's that emotion, that fear, that uncertainty. What if it doesn't pan out? What if I regret it? Hmm. What words don't you understand in this short section? And this is the amazing part. This short section, there are many expressions that I can teach you. So let me know what words you don't understand in this short section, and I'm happy to clarify them. And I have chosen some ones I think are important for you to know. So let's look at this one. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. Do you recognize this? To bite off, this is a long expression. And sometimes in English that happens. It's where many words combined have one simple meaning. So to bite off more than I, you, she, he, because it's one which represents a subject can chew. So you have to remember all of these words. Now, the verb is bite. So that is what you need to conjugate based on the verb tense, whether it's the past simple, the present perfect continuous, or the present simple. You need to conjugate bite. This means to take on, to accept more responsibility than one can manage. So Emily is worried that she might bite off more than she can chew. So she might accept a job with more responsibility, but she can't handle that responsibility. She doesn't have the skill or the ability to do the job successfully. That's one of her concerns. Now, you might bite off more than you can chew if you agree to take on, that's a phrasal verb that means to accept, to take on 3 new projects at work. But then you also sign up for an English class, and you also have to take your kids to swimming class, and you also have to help your neighbor move. So it's not only with one area. It could be just in life you accept many different opportunities or many different responsibilities, and combined all of them are more than you need or more than you want. Okay. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Less is more. Exactly. Very nice example. Now, to pan out. Do you know this phrasal verb? This means to develop in a particular way, but that particular way is a successful way. A successful way. Our plan didn't pan out. This means our plan wasn't successful. So you can use this in many different contexts. This can be a social thing. The birthday party didn't pan out. It could be our vacation didn't pan out. Or it could be a work thing. My presentation, the job interview didn't pan out. Now, notice here, what if I regret it? I highlighted the verb regret because this is a gerund verb. Now, in this sentence, there is no verb because Emily used it, but it represents something. So Emily could say, what if I regret quitting my job? Quitting my job. So, everyone, I want you to leave one example using regret. I regret and then something. Now, make sure that something is in the ing. This doesn't have to be a real example. You can just create something because regret means you do something and then you have a negative feeling towards it. You wish you hadn't. That would be regret. Okay, what if I regret quitting my job? So while you write that sentence, Manfi said, sometimes I feel to bite off. So I feel that I bite off because this you need. So the verb is bite. I bit off more than I can chew after learning English. Yes, exactly. So I feel that I bit off. I bit off. So bit is the past simple of bite, bit, it, bite, bit. Okay, so get that pronunciation because we have a long I in the base verb, bite, ite, bit, it, a short one. Okay, now, excellent job practicing. Let's look at some of these regrets. Sergi said, I regret I wasn't studying English when I was younger. Exactly. You can say, I regret not studying. Okay. So you want the gerund. So the gerund is just the verb in ing. And then to make it negative, you just add not. I regret not studying English when I was younger. Or maybe Emily could say, I regret not quitting my job. Okay. And Fazi, I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I know I am. I'm sorry about that. Fiziev. I don't regret quitting my previous jobs. Exactly. I don't regret. Excellent job. And you still need that ing. So remember, I don't regret, but if you want to say I regret, and then you can have not, and then the ing. Okay. Jenna Lynn said, I regret not doing my workout every day. Exactly. Not doing my workout. I regret not speaking English with you. Exactly. And Fred said, I regret to inform you that. Exactly. This is just a different use. That's a very formal way, but this isn't everyday English. This is a very formal use in a very specific situation when someone tells you that you didn't get the job. I'm glad you pointed that out. But in everyday speech, with the examples I'm giving you, you use the gerund. Okay, I regret not discovering. You don't need to, just the gerund. I regret not discovering J4's YouTube channel before. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I regret not starting classes with you earlier. Exactly. I regret, and then not, and then your verb in ing. I regret not studying English sooner. TT Studio, I really regret that I drank that lemon juice without any sugar. Excellent. And this is true. You can use a clause. I regret that, and then a clause. A clause is a subject, I, a verb, drank, and then an object or the rest of the sentence. Very nicely done, TT Studio. Rakib said, I regret making fun of English. Exactly, because now I realize that I need English for my career. BC, I regret missing your previous classes. Oh, don't regret that because they're all available on my YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe and you'll be able to watch them all. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for all of your regrets. Let's continue on. So, Jake shrugged. There are no guarantees in life, but you can't live in fear. You're smart and capable. If it doesn't pan out, you'll bounce back. If you stay where you are, you might miss out on something incredible, maybe a golden opportunity. Jake said, his enthusiasm infectious. Okay, what words don't you understand here? What words or phrases? I'm happy to review them, and I have some choices for you that I think you should know. Now, we already know if it doesn't pan out, you already know what pan out means. If it doesn't happen successfully, if it doesn't happen successfully, if it doesn't pan out, you'll bounce back. So, to bounce back, this means to recover quickly. We can use this in a general sense. So, in this case, recover quickly for Emily would be find a new job, find one that is successful if the startup fails. But we commonly use this when someone is sick or recovering from something physical. So, my example was he bounced back quickly after the surgery. So, this to recover means to recover your health. So, we commonly use this in a medical sense. But we also use this just if you didn't get a high score on your IELTS or you didn't get the promotion, I would say, don't worry, you'll bounce back. You'll recover and get a high score or get a promotion quickly. Okay. If it doesn't happen successfully, if it doesn't pound out, you'll bounce back. You'll recover quickly. If you stay where you are, which means if you stay at your current job, you might miss out on something incredible. If you miss out on something, now notice there are two prepositions miss out, but you need on if you mention the noun, the something. This means you lose a chance. You lose an opportunity. It's very common for people, they might be offering a sale, 25% off this weekend only. Don't miss out. But then if they want to specify the something, they use on. Don't miss out on joining or on the sale if it's a noun. All right, so that one is very commonly used, as well as bounce back. All of these are very commonly used. You are sick now, but I hope you bounce back soon. Exactly. I hope you recover soon. Very nice. TT Studio asks, Jake shrugged. Okay, so Jake shrugged. So this is what I'm doing with my shoulder. That is shrug. Now, I don't know if this is in your culture or if this is in your language, but in North America, in American English, we shrug to say yes or maybe. For example, or I don't know. So, for example, who's the president of Chile? That would be me saying, I don't know. So a shrug can have a meaning on its own, but often we do it as we're saying the words, I don't know. I don't know. And we might also shake our head or lift our shoulders. So I don't know if that has a meaning in your language, but doing this with our shoulders does communicate in English, which is interesting. It's intriguing, wouldn't you say? And Ludovic, yes, to bounce back means to get over in the sense of recover. I bounced back from COVID, for example. I recovered, I got over COVID. Okay, and Tess said, I'll bounce back from my failure. Exactly, exactly. I failed, but I'll bounce back. I'll recover. Exactly. Very nice. Okay, let's continue on, everyone. So we have bounce back, miss out on. We talked about shrug as well, shrug. Now let's continue. You might miss out on something incredible. Now, this means amazing, extraordinary, awesome, remarkable. So it means extremely good. But I wanted to share this with you because even native speakers, we tend to use the same words over and over again, but it's nice to have alternatives in our vocabulary. It doesn't mean you can't say extremely good, but it's nice to have an alternative and say, wow, that's incredible, which also sounds stronger than saying extremely good. So you can just remember incredible, amazing, extraordinary, awesome, remarkable. There are other ones as well, but these are enough to get you started with some alternatives. And I'm going to make this PDF available once the lesson is done. So for everyone watching the replay, just look in the description or look in the pinned comment, and I'll make this PDF available so you'll have all of this information. Now, infectious. I'm sure you know about an infectious disease, for example. But notice here, Jake said his enthusiasm infectious. That seems to have a positive meaning, but infectious, such as an infectious disease, has a very negative meaning. But in this case, infectious means to have an effect on someone, and that effect, it also makes them want to experience it too. So if Jake's enthusiasm is infectious, just like if a disease is infectious, the disease affects everyone that comes in contact with it. But the same thing, but in this case, it's not something negative like a disease, is Jake's enthusiasm. You've experienced this. If you're in a room and everyone is really happy and excited, you become happy and excited because that emotion is infectious. But the opposite, if you're in a room and everyone is upset and angry, you might become upset and angry because that negative emotion is infectious. So you can say Jake's positive attitude is infectious. Now, hopefully, you use this with something positive. Okay. Your teaching method is incredible, really. Oh, thank you so much. Just notice that it's an adjective, so you don't need an article. Articles are with nouns, but in this case, you could use just is to be incredible. Your teaching method is incredible. Javid said, I'm currently a cancer patient. Please pray for my speedy recovery. Absolutely. We will all pray for that. And of course, we all want you to recover as quickly as possible, to bounce back as quickly as possible. You know what? Your bright smile is definitely infectious. The way you teach English is incredible. Well, thank you so much. And everyone, did you know that smiles are infectious? I promise you, smile at someone and they will smile back at you. They truly are infectious. Okay. Victor, I bounced back last week from the cold or flu. Exactly. But you just have to conjugate your verb because the verb is bounce. So if it's last week, it would be I bounced back from the cold or the flu. Very nice. Oh, Salam said in Africa, shrug shoulder means injury. Wow, that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing. That's intriguing, you can say. See, I have a bad habit of using the word interesting all the time when there are so many other amazing English words. So these lessons are just as much for me to remind myself to not always use the same words over and over again. So I'm going to start using intriguing instead of interesting all the time. Okay, let's continue, everyone. Emily sighed. That is sighed. Emily sighed. Feeling lighter. I was really on the fence, but talking to you helped. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I know it's a gamble, but you're right. I'll bounce back. Jake grinned. A grin is a small smile, like that's a grin. So that's smile, but then that's grin, a small smile. Jake grinned. That's the spirit. And remember, I've always got your back. So what words or what expressions don't you understand from this part of the story? Okay. I chose some words that I think are important for you to know, and feel free to let me know which ones you don't understand in the comments, and I'm happy to clarify them for you. Emily sighed. I explained what that meant. Feeling lighter. So, to feel lighter, we use this as an expression when an emotional weight or burden has lifted. So, an emotional weight or burden, imagine it's your problems. Your problems are making you feel heavy, obviously, metaphorically. So, when your problem disappears, you feel lighter. So, that weight has lifted. So, that's what this means here. Emily sighed, feeling lighter because her problem has lifted. I was really on the fence. So, here, to be on the fence is the idiom, a very common idiom, and this means undecided. So you're not sure. Imagine there's a fence and you can go this way or that way. But if you're on the fence, you haven't decided what direction to take. You're undecided. You're unsure what action to take. We're on the fence about where to go for vacation. You don't know where to go. You're on the fence, undecided. So Emily was on the fence. Notice it's the past, but talking to you helped. You know what? I'm going to go for it. So in this context, to go for it means to take a risk, to try something new. So you might come to me and say, Jennifer, I don't know if I should schedule my IELTS. I don't know if I'm ready. I'm scared. And I could say, just go for it. You should just go for your IELTS. So just do it. Take the risk, try something because you never know. You never know until you try. I'm going to go for it. I know it's a gamble. So to be a gamble, this comes from the verb gambling, which is what you do at a casino. You gamble. So something that involves risk or uncertainty. You might say moving to a new country is a gamble, but you should go for it. You should do it. You should take the risk, even though it is a gamble, because there's a chance that you won't like it at all and you won't be successful in the new country. But there's also a chance that you will love it and you will be extremely successful. So you should go for it. You can use this to encourage your friends, your family members, your coworkers. You should go for it. Jake grinned. We talk about that. Just a small smile. That's the spirit. So, this is an idiom and it's to encourage someone to remain positive. So, your coworker could say, I'm going to ask my boss for a promotion. And then you can say, that's the spirit. So, you're reminding your coworker that they should stay positive and expect the best. I've always got your back. And notice this M, that's short for the name Emily. Emily, and then you shorten it to M. We do this when Emily said, you can call me M. I go by M. Or when they have a close relationship, you can use a shortened name for someone. And M, remember, I've always got your back. Do you know this one? I have taught this expression in many different lessons now. I've always got your back. To have one's back is the idiom, and this means to support or help someone. So, as your teacher, don't worry, I've got your back. I have your back. It means I'm here to support you, I'm here to help you. So, that's what that means. Sergi said, I feel lighter after your class. Exactly. Well, thank you so much. When I passed the exam with flying colors, I felt lighter. Exactly. Now, with flying colors means easily. I passed the exam easily with flying colors. So before the exam, you felt heavy because the weight of the exam was on your shoulders. But then after, you feel lighter. Very nice example. Had it not been for your help, I wouldn't have gone for it. Exactly. To go for it, conjugated, I wouldn't have gone for it and thrown caution to the wind. Very nice. It is a gamble, but I have to go for it. Exactly. This is an excellent expression. So the next time you're considering something risky or difficult, obviously not something that might danger your life, but something like asking your boss for a promotion or sharing your idea in a meeting, you can say, it's a gamble. I might fail, but I have to go for it. Remember this positive attitude. Don't be on the fence. Just go for it. You can do it. That's the spirit. I have your back. Exactly. Look at all these wonderful expressions. Teasing dog can be a gamble. Exactly. So you can use the verb is a gamble or can be, but you can't combine both is and can be together. Exactly. Because if you tease a dog, the dog might bite you. So that's a risk. Exactly. So that's an example where this can be used in something of a danger to you. Oh, right. And Tess said, this time I'm on the fence about what career I should pursue. Exactly. So maybe your option is, well, I don't know. I could become a graphic designer. I could become a teacher. You don't know what to choose. Gabrielle said, leaving my comfort zone is a gamble. Exactly. Exactly. But I'm going to go for it. And then someone else can say, that's the spirit, Gabrielle. I have your back. Don't be afraid to speak English because Jennifer has our back. Exactly. Exactly. And Asham said, thanks for having my back. Very nice sentence. Thanks for, and then you need the gerund verb. Thanks for having my back by making super helpful videos just like this. What a wonderful sentence. Very nicely written. All right. Don't be afraid to speak English because Jennifer has our back. Exactly. Exactly. And I definitely do. Amazing job, everyone. What wonderful examples everyone gave. And remember, I'm going to share the lesson PDF in the comment section and I will pin it as a comment as well and in the description. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you did, then make sure you like it, subscribe, put yes, 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 and let me know if there's anything I can do to improve these live lessons because I want to make sure that you love them. And for all my students watching the replay, also please practice. Let me know what you liked. Let me know how I can improve them as well. And remember, you can find the free PDF in the description. And don't worry, Youssef, you can watch the replay, which should be available almost instantly, and you can watch it again. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you enjoyed the story. I really loved the story. I thought it was a nice, motivating motivational conversation. And there were so many amazing expressions that you can add to your vocabulary as well. So thank you so much for spending this time with me, everyone. And I will see all of you in my next lesson. Bye, everyone.